I do though. We'll always wonder in terms of to your point about education in the channel there's a sort of institutionalized way of selling in the channel. It's just it's not easily overcome at all.
The pace of change is going to play against you as well. That's a big headwind. Like you had to take the channel through the kind of traditional to the cloud.
I took the channel from ISDN and LCR to SIP.
But you invest in that because you kind of almost know that technology is going to be relatively consistent for the next 5 to 10 years. So once you've got your head around SIP, it's like, well, I'm going to get a lot of value out of understanding SIP for the next 10 years. You could get the industry aware of kind of now's technology, and then 18 months from now, everything they learned is
gone.
It's just you're going to have to constantly be kind of continuing that education.
I agree with you. I think it is. You can get down to about 8 to 10 templates that you can explain very simply to a sales guy and say, most people have got this problem, this problem, this problem, this problem. These are some examples of how it works, and they go, get it.
You look at your average small business. They want to sell more, or they want to handle inquiries, right? It's pretty simple. They've got an inbound and outbound inquiry line.
Correct.
And it isn't a lot more complicated than that. Yes, you can get into the nuances of, if you go, I guess it depends on the segment. In micro business, let's say small distributed retail is a good example. They're not that difficult to solve. I think the bigger you go, the harder it is.
That florist story, which is classic Mother's Day one, there's loads of businesses that are seasonal. I mean, the one we tend to use is the view from the shard. Classic tourist attraction problem. Shed loads of calls in the summer, virtually none in the winter, right? So they have to outsource it. The gap's too big, right? But also, the average time to get through was 20 minutes. Half people put the phone down, so they're losing all the sales. So as soon as you say, hang on, we can answer one call or 1,000 at the same speed, they'll all get through.
With a consistent outcome.
Consistent outcome. Oh, and by the way, we'll do a quarter of the cost of the outsourced call centre. There's no R.
And you can do it, and I can do it in 100 different languages for you. So it doesn't matter who you.
This is not complex. So you say anybody who's got seasonal fluctuations.
Yeah, lovely use case. That one. But again, a subtle challenge, and I'm not saying it's not you can't overcome it. But no, the subtle challenge that you would have on that is when you start to talk about anything that's agentic. I go back to Dicko and Jerry and Shade Station. That's a SME with resources, and it's even when. This is you at Dicko with. Which one was you with together? No, it was Dicko and I. Dicko was my manager at Cable and Wireless.
Oh, Cable and
Wireless. Yeah. So, but he's an investor in my brother-in-law's business, Shade Station. It's a £30 million business, biggest European online retailer ever, and they can't get their head around where it comes in, because the CIO is the CIO, the IT guy. He's a good IT guy. The point being is that the data's fragmented within a SME. It's trapped on spreadsheets over here, something over there. To get the true solution, you are going to be talking about individuated, small use cases. There's an onboarding to AI that I think has to be looked at.
The slightly scary bit, though, is to your point. If you own the spreadsheet and you own the collaboration space, you've got the best possible chance in a smaller business.
Your Winston's demo is a good example. Some of the problems are not that complicated, are they?
You wouldn't believe how complicated that one's.
That's got several layers of integration.
Well, that's the classic problem, right? So we've done this project.
Dead easy at the start.
A company called Waste King, and we're like, we take a lot of phone calls. The residential stuff is not that interested. The trade stuff is where we want the sales team to prioritise. So we want the residential calls to be handled by an AI. Fine. What does it need to do? Take skip bookings. Fine. Built one in like half an hour. Works fine. And then it's like, but it doesn't do this, it doesn't do that. And like it's just been a continuation of change. And it's like, but we've got a booking system that's bespoke to us, so we need to integrate with that. And I was like, okay. And we've got a CRM system that you need to integrate with that. I was like, okay, so that's Dynamics as well. And it was like, and it needs to send out the SMSs to the customer. And like before you know it, that prompt is enormous.
It's the grit in the shoe, isn't it, as well?
It's like they all start simple, and I agree with you that as I've had so many conversations with so many small businesses, medium businesses, large businesses, they all start simple until you get to that point of how do you get it to do something real. Like the other one I did was like a nationwide security and fire firm, and they were like, we just wanted to kind of route our calls. I was like, okay, we can do that. And they're like, yeah, we've got 16 different departments he needs to route the calls to, and we've got all these different rules about which department should get it, and then some of the departments, they need to be ID and V before it gets through to them, so you need to kind of capture the information and talk to our systems to confirm if they're ID and V. I was like, fine, I can do all that. But our system has no APIs. It's a 20-year-old Dynamics that's locked away somewhere that you can't access. I was like, come on guys, what am I working with here?
That's a good example.
But we made it work, but it's bloody complicated.
How many businesses have got an ID and verification issue? Right. That's a standard thing that goes across all sorts.
There are a lot of common use cases. Yeah.
Let's go on building blocks.
Yeah.
So is there a market there for biometric voice?
No. And I'll tell you why there's not.
Right.
Because in a 5-minute conversation, you hack it.
Really?
It's 5-minute conversation, you'll hack your voice. No doubt at all.
And
that's not even a conversation.
And it cannot be. You can't delineate between that's an AI.
No.
I was going to say voice cloning would even talk.
No.
About
Voice biometrics is dead. Talk to 11 Labs, dead.
No.
Completely unsafe.
Well, when you were talking about like bad actors and stuff that's the immediate thought
Yeah.
that came to my mind.
Yeah, and that's
But that's the scary thing. Like people are leveraging these tools to do so sophisticated, like fraudulent activities and illegal activities.
But I guess you've still got it back in the day of, a 25-year First Direct customer, is they used to authenticate you with your passwords and your over the phone, didn't they? Is that you could still do that, couldn't you?
But then a lot of stuff is now moving to passwordless, isn't it?
Yeah.
So like the concept of passwords are no longer secure anymore. So there's a whole next generation of security that's going to be without passwords.
But the slightly challenging thing there, though, is that moves the interaction to an online non-voice interaction. Because you use your thumb on your phone or your eye on your phone, and then you're through the ID and V.
Yeah.
So
or
therefore,
some kind of MFA for voice almost.
So the danger we are obsessed with inbound, and I think one of the bigger opportunities is outbound. There are some classic, if you think about it, jobs where you ring outbound and you have so many times that you just can't get through to the person you're getting to, that the humans are completely wasted 9% of the time and eventually get through.
I don't agree. I think that causes a systemic problem and makes it worse. Nobody answers the phone at all now if they don't know the number. Period. No one answers the phone. So you stick an agentic voice on the end of it, you make that problem worse. And we see that the amount of calls we see that is currently agentic voice originated, no one answers them.
There's a lot of truth in that, Mike. I don't answer.
And that's the problem. Until you find a scenario where you trust the number at the end, so you know it's me, you're not going to answer it.
So I'm seeing situations where collections teams from numbers you recognise chasing you.
Still answer it.
That's not the stats I'm getting back. I'm getting back that the amount being collected by agentic collection teams is bigger than human teams.
Okay, interesting. I mean, we see
primarily because the volume of calls you can do at various times when people are not working, because in the day 90% of the human time is completely wasted because they're not getting through.
Okay, I get the value. I would question the pickup rate.
So just start with 30 grand a year, 60 of the collections team. What can they collect from that 180 grand?
Well, because it is like the old dialer days, and they'll just.
That's exactly what it is. But I get if I'm a collections company all day long, I'm like employ 6 people.
Edit that bit.
There's legitimate like appointment reminders and stuff like that. I think there are legitimate outbound use cases, but yeah, like smashing robo-dial almost modes, I think is a bit dangerous.
And then you've got the shaking in the US, and they'll just cut your knees off. So do I.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Enjoyed that.
Thank you. Pleasure.
Take care.
Pleasure. Ian.
Yeah.
Leave me hanging. Cheers.
Trevor, go ahead.
Good night.
Yeah, no, always fine.